In a strong team, people can speak up. They feel empowered to ask difficult questions. They are comfortable sharing novel, sometimes unproven ideas. They do all of this without a paralyzing fear of judgment or retribution. This feeling is called psychological safety. It is not a perk or a bonus. It is the fundamental soil in which innovation grows. Collaboration grows, resilience grows. Leaders are the primary architects of this environment. They build it or dismantle it with their words. They construct it or tear it down with their everyday actions. This deliberate practice of shaping perception and encouraging participation is called framing. Framing is the careful and conscious way that leaders explain situations. It is the specific choice of words. It is the inflection in their tone. It is the body language that accompanies their message. It is how leaders describe the inherent risks in a new project. It is how they describe the learning opportunities within an error. So, framing at its core is the act of fitting a situation into a conceptual frame that gives it meaning. Think of it like a picture frame. The same painting can look dramatically different. Simple wooden frame, ornate golden frame. Similarly, the same set of facts can be interpreted as a threat or an opportunity depending on the linguistic frame a leader provides. This is not about manipulating the truth. It is about highlighting a specific aspect of the truth to orient the team toward a productive mindset. When a leader says, "This project is a high-stakes must-win battle," the frame is one of pressure and fear. If they say, "This project is a bold experiment that will teach us a lot," the frame is one of learning and exploration. The distinction between framing and dishonest spin is crucial. Spin involves obscuring or distorting facts to create a misleadingly positive picture. It is a short-term tactic that erodes trust as soon as reality sets in. Framing, on the other hand, is an authentic leadership tool. It acknowledges the facts of a situation, difficulty, uncertainty, risk, but presents them in a way that promotes engagement and reduces unproductive fear. For instance, instead of saying our market share is dropping and we're in trouble, a leader might say our market share data shows a shift in customer needs. This is our chance to innovate and serve them better. Psychological safety is the shared belief held by members of a team that the group is safe for interpersonal risk-taking. This is a concept I have studied for decades, and its importance cannot be overstated. It means people feel secure enough to speak up with ideas, questions, concerns, and mistakes without facing humiliation or punishment. It is the feeling of confidence that your voice is welcome and that your teammates will not embarrass, reject, or penalise you for being candid. It is the simple, profound belief that you can be yourself without fear. It is vital to distinguish what psychological safety is not. It is not about being nice all the time or lowering performance standards. Psychologically safe environments are often characterized by rigorous debate and high expectations. The safety lies in knowing you can challenge the status quo or admit you fell short, and the response focuses on the work, not on you as a person. It is the combination of high psychological safety and high standards that creates the highest performance. The origins of psychological safety are found in the small, repeated interactions of daily work life. When a team member asks a question that might seem stupid, does the leader answer with respect or with a sigh of impatience? When someone points out a flaw, are they thanked for vigilance or labelled not a team player? When an error is discovered, Do we hunt for blame or understand what happened and how to prevent it? Each of these moments is a brick in the foundation of psychological safety, enabling early reporting, idea sharing and faster learning. It transforms a workplace from fear and self-preservation to learning and shared contribution. The impact of a leader's framing extends far beyond a single conversation. It creates a ripple effect that shapes the entire team culture. There are 3 clear reasons why this happens. First, people copy their leaders. They watch how a leader talks about a missed deadline, a budget cut, or a competitor's success. If mistakes are disasters, fear spreads. If mistakes are data points, learning grows. The leader's words become the team's default operating system. Second, words directly shape emotions. Consider the difference between "why did you do that?" and "walk me through your thinking on this." One accuses, the other invites collaboration. Language that implies judgment, blame or threat triggers fight or flight and shuts down creativity. Language that frames challenges as learning keeps people open, resourceful and collaborative. Third, framing gives people permission to act in new ways. When a leader says, "We expect everyone to have questions," that is how we find our blind spots. Inquisitiveness becomes normal. When a leader states, "We value different points of view because that makes our decisions stronger," disagreement becomes contribution. These frames make it expected to say, "I don't know, I need help, and I see it differently." Consistent framing rewires the team's collective mindset, from avoiding blame to learning fast. Becoming a leader who frames work effectively does not require a personality transplant. It requires practical, learnable techniques. These are simple verbal tools any leader can start using immediately. Here are 4 powerful framing techniques. The first is to normalize uncertainty. We are in new territory here, so we don't have a perfect roadmap yet. That is why we need everyone's brain power. Reframe uncertainty from threat to shared challenge. This says it is okay not to know and encourages early ideas and concerns. The second technique is to celebrate voice, especially dissent and tough questions. Thank you for raising that. That is an important perspective to consider. Praise the act of speaking up to reinforce the behaviour. The third technique is to reframe failure. This was a thoughtful experiment that did not pan out as expected. What can we learn from this result? Shift focus from blame to inquiry. Detoxify failure to enable smart risks. Finally, model vulnerability. I was wrong about my initial assumption. Let's look at this new data together. This shows no one is perfect and models the response. Acknowledge it, learn from it, and move on. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is confidence and a profound act of creating safety. We are all human and we are all in this together. Right, these are simple things that matter. Ultimately, framing is the tool leaders use to transform their words into a tangible culture. It is the bridge between intention and impact. Without consistent practice, desire remains abstraction. Language repeated day after day changes how people see risk, relate to each other and approach work. It helps teams move from a baseline of fear and self-protection to a baseline of curiosity and collective mission. It turns anxious silence into productive dialogue. Framing is not a trick for crises. It must be steady and authentic. Words must match actions. If you say, "We learn from our mistakes," do not punish honest errors. If you invite dissent, listen with respect when it arrives. Belief is built through reliability. This journey requires patience and self-compassion. Sometimes a gentle line like, "What did we learn?" is best. Other times a firm boundary like "No blame, solve problems" protects the team. Become a student of your own impact. Start small, but start now. Choose one new phrase or question to use in your very next meeting. Use it again tomorrow. Over weeks and months, the language changes and the team changes with it. Risk becomes a path to growth. Voice becomes a gift, and you will have built what all great teams share, a fearless organisation.